good morning, good afternoon, good evening to you. Gonna have a tube. Hope you're all today feeling ground as well in your world. I'm talking really fast because I want to get to this out. This is a Katana 50 from Boss. Beat that, fast talkers of the world. Haha, yes. The Boss Katana 50, everybody. I finally have one! And let me say, a lot of you have told me it was good. People on the internet were saying it was good. People everywhere were saying the Boss Katana is good. Well, amazing. And I was like, I can't say because I haven't tried one. If you saw the live stream of me playing through this for the first time, you'll realise this is one of the best amps in the world, full stop. It just is. It's just absolutely stunning. And I'm in love with it. I'm going to marry it and have its little Katana babies. Anyway, regardless of weirdness, which I am. Anyway, yeah. What? I'm sure you all know what a Katana is. I've got the 50 watt version here. And everyone needs one. Everyone needs a Boss Katana in their life. They really do. It's absolutely stunning. I love this thing to death. So I thought what I'd do today is I'd go through some sounds. I have them written down here on this bit of paper. I have many, many sounds to show you today. And I thought what I'd do is I'd just show you and just play through them and get you an idea of what the amp can do, where it can go and this, that and the other. It just does everything though you want it to do. It's such an amazing little amp. It's unreal. It's loud enough to gig with. I did a gig the other weekend with it, not mic'd up, and it filled the pub. I had it on free. Like, what? Outrageous, I tells you. But yeah, so I thought what I'd do is I'd go through the sounds today. I'm going to use my white Strat. I'm going to use the lemon drop. I'm also going to use the quad later on as well because someone requested to hear the quad through it. So I'll drag the quad down as well at some point to play through this. Probably for an outro. I think I'll use the quad for an outro because the quad sounds ace through it. Well, every guitar I've got sounds ace through it because it's an amazing amp. Okay, so yeah, everybody knows what the Boss Katana is. A solid state digital modeling amp from Boss. You've got acoustic mode, clean mode, crunch mode, lead mode, and brown mode. I'll use all three. I'll use all 5 today. I'll show you with an acoustic guitar as well to let you know hear what it sounds like. Because it sounds really good with an acoustic. It really does. Nothing's modded on it. It's just factory as it came. So yeah, you got the amp. You got those 5 amp types. You've got a gain, a volume. You've got a bass, middle, and treble for your EQ section. Then you got your effects section, which consists of a booster / modulation, a delay / effect, and a reverb. You got your master volume, and then you got your power scaling mode, which takes you from 50 to 25 to 0.5 of a watt, and standby. And the standby is really good for live. It just shuts the amp up, and you have to keep turning it off and on. It's really, really cool. Single 12-inch Katana Boss speaker sounds amazing. Really, really cool. I do want to try it with a Celestian speaker though, so I'll probably after this video I'll probably do another video somewhere down the line of me trying it with a Celestian 70 watt speaker just to see how it kind of compares to the Boss speaker. But yeah, also, a lot of people have asked, can you get the John Frusciante sound out of this thing? Yes, you can. And yes, you can make the WH-10 and the DS2 behave themselves. I used it in the intro jam. And they sound immense. So, without further ado, let's get to that sound. The John Frusciante sound that a lot of people requested to get out of this amp. So, let me tell you what's going on at this point in time. I'm on the crunch mode of the amp. So, I'm on the crunch setting, full left. I'm on the crunch mode. I've got gain all the way down. I've got volume all the way up. You're going to love this bit. This is going to cause like chaos and havoc throughout the globe. Bass, middle, and treble. Can you guess what I'm going to say? Bass, middle, and treble are all on 0. They're all on 0. So they're all off. So I don't know. He does. That's just things that work. So yeah, let's just recap. Gain on 0, volume all the way up on 10, bass 0, middle 0, and treble 0. Then I've got the booster on. I've got the booster set to the green mode, which is a blues drive. And I've got that set about 10 o'clock. So it's about there. as you're looking at it. So that's 12 o'clock, 11 o'clock, 10 o'clock. It's there. And then I've got no delay and effects. That's off. I've got reverb at basically 9 o'clock, and I've got the volume at 9 o'clock as well. So the volume's basically on 2, and that's where I'm going to leave it for the whole thing. But the John Frusciante sound, does it do it? It sounds like this. To me, it sounds really close, and you get your. So that was using the DS2, and you can hear there's no volume jump. Even watching the levels on the camera just then, it doesn't go anywhere. It stays where it is. And the same for the Ibanez wah. And combine the two, you get the full John Mad wah. Okay, so that's, yeah, it does the John Frusciante thing. As you know, to my ears and what I hear, that sounds really, really, really close. Like, I mean, because let's face it, we all know it's never going to be 100% because I'm not John Frusciante. I don't have his gear. I don't have his hands. I don't have his guitar. I don't have his leads. I'm not him. So to me, that sounds really close. So let me just recap again the settings. We're on the crunch mode of the amp. Gain is on 0. Volume is all the way up on 10. Bass, middle, and treble all on 0. I'm on the green booster setting, so it's the blues drive, and that's at 10 o'clock, set at 10 o'clock. No delay. Reverb is at 2, so 9 o'clock, and the master volume is at 9 o'clock as well, and I've got the amp on full power, so it's 50 watt, and it does... Makes me very happy, everybody. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to unplug the DS2 and the Ibanez wah, and we're going to go straight into the amp, and I'm going to start going through these settings. So we'll kind of like start with like clean, and then crunch, and then lead, and then the brown sound, and we'll kind of go through and see what we can get out of it with single coils, and then we'll switch to humbuckers, and then at the end I'll do a little outro with, well actually, what we'll do is I'll do acoustic, do single coils first, then I'll do acoustic, and then I'll do the Les Paul. The acoustic will be quite quick. It's just to kind of show you. And then we'll switch over to the quad at the end and do a little outro jam. Okay, so, like I say, this amp is amazing, but strap yourself in. This is going to be quite a long video, I think. But this amp deserves it. Okay, so let's unplug everything and go straight into the amp and see what we can get out of it. Okie dokie, so, clean channel. Let's start with clean, shall we? And then I'm going to go into my little presets, which kind of go from kind of a crunch to the lead to the brown sound. The brown sound is incredible. But anyway, let's start with the clean. So, at this point in time, I've got gain and volume on 10. Bass is on 0. Middle and treble at 9 o'clock. So they're kind of like 2 o'clock. So like there, if you're looking at it. No booster or modulation. No delay. I've got the reverb still on 2. And I've turned the volume down a smidge to about 8 o'clock. Just below 9 o'clock. This sounds really nice. almost kind of Mark Knopfler-y clean. Or, yeah, it's got a really cool. It's got a really cool sound to it. Really articulate, really clean, but really. It's just wicked! That's a lovely clean sound, and apart from me messing up Sons of Swing, sorry Mark, just yes, thank you very much indeed, boss, I will take that. Okay, so that's the clean channel, and I say you can like add like really cool things, like the booster for instance, you can add like distortion. So it's going to send the levels right off, and then you get a red. Then the orange. Which sounds like a DS1 to me. Ah! Evil. Then you got modulation sound. It's like a really cool, like, chorus. Those 80s power ballad rock anthems, and also for John Frusciante you can get a really cool chorus sound. Then you get more. Is that the flanger or the phaser? That's not the flanger, right? Yeah, that's the flanger, phaser. Great Van Halen-y thing going on with that. So that's that, and then you get delay. Sounds amazing. Other effects. Ah! I'll get to more of the effects as we kind of go, but just to give you an idea with a clean sound, it really kind of shows them off. Okay, so let's move on to another sound. What we got? Okay, so let's move on to a Jimi Hendrix kind of bluesy kind of lead sound. So let's do that. Okay, so we're gonna move on. Yeah, Jimi Hendrix, kind of Voodoo Child sound. Not Voodoo Child, Slight Return. Voodoo Child. We're gonna go for that kind of real dark blues town. Blues town. Why not? Yeah. need to stop. I need to stop myself because otherwise I'll just be playing that for about an hour and that'll be the video. But that's a stat. Very far away. And then you can put a booster on. And the really cool thing is you can clean up on your volume control really well. So if I put... Oh, hang on a bit, where am I? Oh, hang on, I'm in the wrong section. So I'm going to use the phaser as like a pseudo univibe. You can go... Roll your volume back a bit on like that kind of cleanish kind of sound, and you get this really lovely. What? And then from back to. Anyway, I really need to move on. Jimi Hendrix, everybody. That sounds like a Jimmy sound to me. It feels like a Jimmy sound to me. Okay, so I'm going to move on to a Stevie Ray Vaughan kind of sound now, which is a lot like this, but a bit kind of more kind of like harsh kind of sounding. It's got a little bit more of a Fender-y kind of thing. So let's go to Stevie Town. Okay, so moving on to the Stevie Ray Vaughan sound, but I forgot to say what the Hendrix sound was. So, the Jimi Blues tone, everybody, I was set to the lead mode on the Katana, and it was gain on 5, volume was on 10, bass was on 2, so 9 o'clock. So yeah. Let's do it in clock form. So basically the Jimmy sound was gain at 12 o'clock, volume was all the way up, so just crank it. Bass was at 2 o'clock, so at 9 o'clock, sorry, so 2. Middle was at 0, treble was at 0, and had reverb on 5 on the hall mode. So moving on to Stevie, we've got, I say, a bit more of a punchy kind of sound now. So we're still on the lead mode. I love the lead setting on this amp. I think the lead setting is kind of like one of the most versatile on this amp. It's just ridiculous what you can get out of it. But I've got the gain at 10 o'clock, so it's about 3. 10 o'clock, kind of 3 on the spectrum. In fact, 0, 1, 2, 3. I've got volume all the way up on 10. I don't really ever lower the volume. It's always on 10. Bass and middle are at 12 o'clock. Treble is all the way off. And I've just got reverb on at 9 o'clock. The booster and everything aren't on. But I will show you the booster in a minute. But it just gives you this kind of Stevie. back a bit. Nice. Well done, Dave. Sorry, Stevie. It seems to have that kind of right twang for kind of Stevie Ray Vaughan thing. And then also you can add the booster in for solos. So I'm on the red booster, which is an overdrive. It just gives that kind of... So, say you're doing Pride and Joy, and you come to the... If you got the foot switch, it makes it a lot easier. That is really difficult to play. But I've only just learned. I'm only kind of learning it still, so I'm not very good at it. That's my excuse and I'm sticking to it. But anyway, so yes, Stevie Ray Vaughan, everybody. Let's move on to... Let's move on to full gain now with the Strat. Let's go to the brown sound. You've heard the crunch, you've heard the clean, you've heard the lead. Let's go full whack, everybody. To the big sound. Yes, that. Okay, so we're on the brown sound setting now. My favourite setting. Well, one of my favourite settings, actually, quite really. Did I? Yes, I did mention about the Stevie, what the EQ settings were Stevie Ray Vaughan. Okay, so I love the brown sound. It's immense. So I've got the gain on 10, volume on 10, all EQ is on 0, so bass, middle, and treble are all on 0. Bass, middle, and 0, I've never heard of that one before, but anyway, I'm proper getting hyper off this amp. It's absolutely just making me go, I'm physically shaking. Anyway, yeah, bass, middle, and treble are on 0. I've got no booster or anything. I've got no delay or anything. I've got the reverb still at 9 o'clock, and I've still got the volume at 9 o'clock. My gravy, is this a sound? And then it cleans up. And if I want to go completely over the top, I can add more gain. And try Malmsteen stuff. outrageous. Eddie Van Halen. Anyway, where's the octave? I need to show you the octave divider. Let me just get back in tune. I really cannot say enough good things about this album. I really can't. Bit big. You don't need a bass player! Okie dokie, so apart from putting bass players out of their job and turning me into an absolute wreck of a human being, this thing is amazing. It really is amazing with all the built-in effects, all the options to plug it into a computer to really go inside the amp and tweak it. The foot switch capability and stuff like that is insane. Absolutely insane. Boss have nailed this thing. Absolutely nailed it. So, as you can see, I've switched over to my acoustic now. So let me turn that off a sec. But yeah, I thought I'd show you what it sounds like on the acoustic model, because it's got, like I say, acoustic model is kind of the lowest one, but it's just kind of like designed just so you can, you know, whack your acoustic in if you kind of need to, so to say. I wouldn't say it excels at this acoustic sound, but it's definitely a usable acoustic sound. But there's only a handful of acoustic amps I've ever plugged an acoustic guitar into that sound actually really nice. The best one being the Marshall AS or something like that. But this does a really good job. But its main focus is definitely electric guitar. But let me show you this. It definitely sounds good. So if I do some kind of like little finger picky thing. not horrendous at all. It works. It's really nice. It really is. It does its job. And it sounds like the Boss Acoustic Simulator, which is an amazing pedal. And I have one. I love it to bits. So, yeah. So, now let's go and get some humbuckers and plug some humbuckers in and get some Peter Greeny humbuckery kind of tones going on. Okie dokie. So, switched over to humbuckers now, the lemon drop. I'm going to start with like a Peter Greeny kind of sound. And I've cut my thumb open, everybody. There's blood, there's horror, there's everything going on today. But I'm going to start with a Peter Greeny kind of sound. As it sounds ridiculously close to kind of Oh Well, in a way. There's this kind of real twang it's got. Anyway, but it does. And if you turn up a reverb, you kind of get that slow bluesy kind of. That's ridiculously like dynamic to your playing, like absolutely outrageously dynamic. You don't really kind of need to go near your volume control, but it cleans up ridiculously. And it's pretty much, I would say Paul Kossoff is a little bit less trebly. Maybe not that much. Yeah, it's not far off all those classic. It's not far off all those classic blues, British blues kind of tones. Really cool. Amazing. Okay, I'm going to move on to like an AC/DC kind of like classic rock kind of crunch now. Oh, by the way, any EQ setting that I forget to say will be in the description box below. I'll write them all out in the description box below just so they're there for easy reference. Okay, so moving on to like a bit more of a rhythmy kind of like, crunchy classic rock humbucker tone. Okay, so AC/DC time. I'm actually starting to sweat and I need to really try and calm my breathing because I'm getting well carried away. It's this amp's fault. Boss, I'm blaming you. Okay, so Gone for like an AC/DC kind of classic rock kind of crunch thing. So we've got, I'm on the crunch setting. I've got gain on 10, so all the way up, volume all the way up. I've got no bass, so bass is on 0, so it's like 7 o'clock. And I've got middle and treble at 9 o'clock, so technically like 2 there, basically, kind of straight, like 9 o'clock time. I've got reverb back on 2 as well. We just really... Boom. Boom. Holy monkeys. Holy monkeys. Okay, so bear in mind this is a strange amp. I'm not using any pedals here. This is just the amp alone. Holy hell, my brain. I don't know how much more I can cope with this. Okay, so now what can we go for? Gary Moore. Let's try Gary Moore full out lead tone. Okay, this amp is terrifying. It's absolutely terrifyingly good. So, we're on to like a Gary Moore sound now. We're on the brown setting. Gain is all the way up. Volume is all the way up. Bass and middle are at 9 o'clock. No treble. Reverb is at halfway, so 12 o'clock. Whoa! Let's get more gain. Bit of a brighter Gary Moore-esque, Jerry Cantrelli kind of... Where's the octave divider? No, that's not it. Holy monkey! Good gravy. Okay, I'm losing my brain, and this is the last sound I'm going to go for before I get the quad and play an outro, because I can't do anymore. Holy hell! Yes, it is that good. Yes, it is that good. Hopefully the sound has come across really well. Hopefully the sound comes across really well. I really hope that comes across really well. Versatile is not really the word. Good gravy. And we're talking thick onion gravy here, boss. What are you doing to the world and me and my brain, my poor brain? I need hazard pay for this amp, for using this amp. There's just so many cool things about it. Like there's a little foot on the bottom that pings out to get the amp higher if it's sat on a chair or on the floor. Say the optional foot switch. But in my personal opinion, I think the foot switch should have really come with it. I don't really like when let me put it on standby. I don't really like it when companies do an amp and they don't ship it with a foot switch. I think it's kind of a bit of a cop-out almost, really. Like, if the amp has an option to have a foot switch, it should be included in the price. So if it's like, you have to pay 30, 20, 30, whatever it is, to get the foot switch, that should be added on the price and it should come with it. I don't know. I feel a bit like, I feel it's a bit silly. Like, you have to buy the foot switch separately. I think it's a bit ridiculous. Why don't you just add it on to the price of the amp and then it comes with it and then you've got it? I don't really understand why it's not with it, really. It's kind of a bit... It limits it a little bit, not having a foot switch, because with a foot switch, obviously, you can turn effects on, you can turn delays on, you can turn all sorts of stuff, you can switch channels. It's really it's really cool. So let's talk before I play out with the quad. Let's talk a bit more some features. Like on the 50 watt here, I have a tone setting on the top. So there's like channel 1, channel 2, and a panel setting. And if you look on Google Images, you'll you see, or if you've got one, you'll know what I mean. So you've got like you've got like 3 different settings, and channel 1 and channel 2, they're basically presets, so you can save your presets. So you can have everything on 0 and just click it, and it just recalls it, which I love to bits. I love that thing. I've always wanted an amp with that. It's really cool. And then when you're on panel mode, it just kind of opens up a panel for you to do whatever you want to. So you just kind of like, you can just do what you want. It won't save on the panel mode, but yeah, it's really cool. I haven't plugged it into a laptop yet. I'm not that technically adept at that kind of thing, but I will at some point. But I'm biding my time with that one. I don't really feel I need to plug it in. I'm happy with the way it is. Like I said, I would like to try a Celestian speaker in it, just out of curiosity, just one day. So I might do that one day in a video, just to see what happens. But I love the Katana speaker. The Katana speaker is immense. It's just big, fat, warm loveliness. It really is. It's really light, which is a bonus for gigging, because you can gig it and it's really light. It takes up no space whatsoever. I don't need to say any more, everybody. The Boss Katana, it is as good as people say. It really is, and then some. It really is out of this world amp. It really is unreal. It's killing me. Absolutely killing me. The questions are going to come in now. Which one do you prefer? This, or the Marshall MG, or the Orange CR120? I can't answer that. I don't know. I love them all. They all turn me into Gibbery Rex. Same thing like the PV Bandits. Like those 4 amps are like just they turn me into like just a Gibbery wreck. I might as well just be a bit of jelly on the floor going, This has got legs up on certain amps because of the ability to have effects built into it without having to have like pedals and stuff. But they all sound amazing, and this song sounds immense as well. I love it to bits, and you were not lying, were you, people of the tube? Like at all. You were, when you said it was good, you were not lying. Whoa. And when other people say, well, it was good, it's like, I always thought it was going to be good, but this good was just like outrageous. Anyway, I need to go and lie down in a dark room with ice packs on my ears and head and just calm down. So I'm going to go and get the quad, plug the quad in, play something chilled out for the outro. Thank you so much for watching. I know it's been a long video, but hopefully you've enjoyed it. Everyone needs a Boss Katana in their lives. They are ridiculously cheap. This is like 200 quid. I bought this off a friend of mine second hand, but they're so good. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching. Settings are in the description box below. Thank you very much. I'll see you again. Have a great weekend, everybody. I'm done. I'm just done. I'm beyond done. What's beyond done? I don't know. But anyway, thank you all. Have a great weekend. Have a great morning, afternoon, good evening. Goodbye now.